Hello and welcome to episode 3 of this Ask Me Anything live Q&A series. So this is the third one that I've done. The other two have gone really well. They've been interesting. We've got interesting discussions going, including interacting with the chat box. So this isn't just like a one-way thing. I want to try to get this moving into like a community, a meeting of our community, really. And I really enjoyed the last one. Again, this is my third one that I'm doing. They've just been so successful. I want to try my best to continue doing these every month. Today I'm a little bit late. Today's the first time I'm trying it at 3 p.m. here in the UK, but I now know that I've got many people from around the world following me, so it doesn't really matter so much about time zones. I was thinking really before I was doing them at like 7 p.m, 8 p.m, so people could join here in the UK. So let's kick this off. We've got a couple of people who have joined. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And if you would like to ask me any question, you've got any burning questions that you'd like to ask me, I'm open. We can speak about my story. We can speak about what happened. We can speak about what's going on at the moment with my social media and how I'm trying to develop that into something bigger, into something that finally just goes, well, worldwide. Bit scary, right, when I say it like that, but it's true because this is a worldwide problem. This isn't just specific to a country. This isn't specific to a social status. This isn't specific to developing countries or non-developing countries. This is just everywhere. So we should talk about it. I don't know whether you've been following my Instagram over the past couple of weeks. It's been full of highs and full of lows. Let me tell you that. Because I'm always trying different things. I'm always experimenting with different tactics. I'm experimenting with different types of posts. And sometimes they're very successful, which of course just makes me feel good about what I'm doing and the progress of it. But sometimes it doesn't work. And that is difficult to take on, but I'm always just learning from, I wouldn't call them mistakes, but just learning from trying out different things and seeing what works and what doesn't. So today we're going to be doing a live Q&A. Please do write in the chat box if you would like to ask me anything. You can put it in the question box, which is down there. I didn't know about that question box at the start, but you can put it in the question box and then I get a notification that questions come through, or you can just put it straight in the comment section. So who's the first one to ask a question? Is there anything on my social media in the past couple of weeks or the past month since we've been doing this that you didn't really like? Because that's always interesting to talk about. Maybe you didn't agree with what I said. Maybe there was something that you would like me to do more of. Maybe there is something that you think I'm doing really well or not so well. There's something you'd like me to talk about more. I mean, over the past couple of weeks, I've been talking a lot about this issue. Let's not call it an issue right now. Let's say I've been talking a lot about this subject of pornographic material and its usage and the effect that it has on a human brain. I want to know more about this. I want to, in the future, talk to experts on this. I want to talk with people who have had bad experiences through watching pornographic material. Maybe it took them in a direction that they didn't want to go down. But I also want to know about people who use pornographic material and it, let's say, heightens their life. I'm interested in both sides of the debate because I don't want everything to always be one. I don't want to just talk about things from one angle. Because I just don't think that's very useful. I want to talk. I want to give both sides of the discussion so that then people can make their own mind up. Because there's always two sides, right? Some people with the pornographic material, some people will find it will bring something to their life, and for some people it takes something from their life. So we have the first question. So thank you so much. The question is, I am curious to what has happened since you confronted your abuser. Okay. Uh, so, um, let's talk about that in kind of like a timeline. So I confronted my abuser at his door. It was 2 years ago now, approximately, and I was arrested for doing that. He called the police when I knocked on his door, and he answered. The police came, they arrested me, and I was charged with stalking, harassment, and assault. So let's just quickly go through those three charges. The stalking was because I've been messaging him for like a year, and he kept telling me to go away. And excuse me, that's the harassment. And harassment in the UK is if you contact someone more than twice when they've asked you not to. And that is what I did. So they charged me with harassment. They charged me with stalking for finding out where he lives. And they charged me with assault for pushing him in the chest when he opened the door and tried to slam it in my face. I, of course, needed to keep the door open. So I was charged. I went to court 3 times and I pleaded not guilty to all the charges because I was actually there for a conversation. I wasn't there to cause any drama. And eventually, in the final day of court, they said I was not guilty for the stalking and harassment, which were the 2 more serious charges here in the UK, and I was found guilty for the assault. Now, I was told by my barrister that actually what really happened was they had to kind of not find me guilty for something, but kind of they had to slap me on the wrist because they couldn't be seen to not be doing anything with somebody, meaning me, going around knocking on people's door to confront them about something that happened in the past. Whether or not that happened in the past, that what they're saying is that's not their concern whether it happened or not. What they're concerned is my actions, and they don't. My barrister said they didn't want to look like they just didn't do anything with me. So yeah, they gave me £1,000 fine, and they gave me a restriction order, meaning I cannot approach him, contact him ever again for 2 years, which I wouldn't do anyway, because if the judge said to me, if I break that clause, then I will see prison. Now, if I am to go to prison for confronting the guy that sexually abused me when I was a child, well, that is just not a situation that we want to be in, right? That's detrimental to my life. So I need to be disciplined and behave properly. I will not contact him again. I did everything that I needed to do. And I feel like I got to say my bit. I got to say my bit to him. So now that's it. We just continue now. And we just continue trying to make this bigger and trying to reach more people, reach adults, reach children, reach teenagers. That's what this is all about now, right? And to the person that asked the question, I'm glad that it inspired you as well. And I hope my work inspires and encourages. I'll tell you something, one of the reasons why I want it to inspire and encourage so much is because I feel like I was very fortunate to have inspirational characters throughout my life, whether that be in my engineering career, which is what I did before this, or just like, just in general. And I think we need more inspiring, encouraging characters, and I hope that my work is going to be that character. Yeah. Okay, we got another question. That's excellent. And hi. Oh, amazing. This is amazing. Let me just say something. Okay, so Petal to Me has written, I saw you at Hyde Park on the 26th of July. You've come a long way since then. I got shivers going down my spine as I'm reading that. Wow. I hope Petal for Me is still on here, right? Still listening. Thank you for that. I'll tell you why thank you for that. Just for those that are listening now, when the memories of this abuse came back in my head, I spent a lot of time with them. I started speaking out to close friends, and then I wanted to try to help other people by speaking my story out loud. So I would speak it at open mic nights, right? So what Petal has written here, let me just pull that up on the screen. I don't know whether you can see that on the screen or not, but obviously this person on Instagram has seen me perform one of my open mics on the 26th of July, which would have been in 2019, over 2 years ago. My goodness. Yes, things have come a long way. And what is so beautiful about that is you've actually seen the journey since the start. Wow, wow, wow. You've been on this since the start. Those were the days that I used to just post my recording of my open mic up on my mobile, which had been recorded on my mobile phone. That's amazing. That's just amazing. I got a video, by the way, coming out, which details a little bit more about the open mic scene that I was on and how I was trying to run that and what I was trying to do with that. I was trying to speak my story. I was trying to speak my story out loud in public. I wanted to get confident with that. And open mic nights are just so incredible because you sign up on the door, you get 5 minutes on the stage, and you get to speak whatever you like. You can be a poet, you can be a musician, you can be a singer, you can be a comedian. And I went as a storyteller. So I would tell my story, but I would tell it in different ways, right? I wouldn't just say the same thing every time. I maybe would talk about possibly what I think could have been done to prevent it, how I feel about it now, what I'm doing about it now. I wouldn't just talk my story every time because I didn't want it to be the same every time. And yeah, that open mic night experience was really something else. And I owe a lot to that whole open mic scene in London. If you are in England and you can ever make it into London, please do go check out some of these open mic nights. They're incredible. So, Petal, to me, that's a really incredible thing that you messaged in. Thank you for that. It helps me remind myself how far we've come, because sometimes I'm not feeling so good about everything, really, because as you all know, I need to start monetizing what I do, because otherwise I'm going to run out of money and then the whole thing stops, right? And I think until I get to a stage where I am at least covering my expenses, meaning the film crews, the studio hire, the designers, the time spent on different things, my YouTube channel, then until I get to that point where I'm breaking even, this is always going to be scary. Yeah? This is always going to be nerve-wracking, because if I do run out of money, then if I do run out of money and this whole thing is over, then I think we're all going to be sad. Okay. Any more questions, everyone? I was a little bit nervous about doing this midday because I know a lot of people here over this side of the world will be at work and they won't be able to join. Last time we had more people than we've got now, but I just want to let's just capture this and who's on there. Okay, we had another question come in. Excellent, thank you. What has been the reaction of your community, friends, family to being upfront with your experience? It is important for men to speak. Yes, it is important for men to speak, and I hope I'm going to not encourage more men to speak directly, but just to let people know that it's okay to speak if they want to. I think they're quite different things, and I don't want to ever be telling people that they should speak out, because who am I to do that? And that isn't good advice, I don't believe. But just to let people know if it's something they want to do, especially men, that they can do it. What's been the reaction of your community, friends, family? It's been sad for everyone, is how I'm going to start the answer to that question. It's been sad for everyone because I've been very open online and I am pouring my heart out online. And when it's about a subject like this, well, it's tough for people who know me on a personal level, who have known me for many years to take and listen to. But I get support. Everybody's very supportive. Everybody's very encouraging. I do know that people have their doubts. It's not because they doubt me, but it's because they doubt whether anything can be created from this subject that could turn into my life's work. That's what I feel people worry about. People that are close to me, they worry about that. But 9 days out of 10, when I'm feeling good about things, it's like there's no stopping me. Yeah? There's no stopping me. Because every month that goes past, the content is developing, the ideas are developing, the strategy is developing, the approach is developing. That's how I feel 9 days out of 10, yeah? There's always that 10th day, which is tough because it feels like things aren't going anywhere. But, for the most part, I just feel the support. It's been tough for people that know me personally. I think it's been tough even now for people that have been following for a period of time to see the ups and downs that I experience as I'm doing this. So Jay, Amy, GP, thank you so much for another question from you. For anybody that's just joined, if you have any questions, this is an Ask Me Anything live Q&A. I will really try to answer any question, including my content, where I'm going with it, what I think about how things are going, my story, my past, my history, my vision for the future, anything like that. You're free to ask questions. So if you are following my Instagram stories, my Facebook stories as well, if you've come over from Facebook to join this, you will see that I have been using them very differently now. A couple of friends put me onto some people who they think are using Instagram stories really well. I checked them out and I took some inspiration from them, and I want, one of my goals is always to bring people along for the journey. I don't want to just throw out a post. I don't want to just throw out a video. I want to show my thought process behind that post. I want to show my aim for the video. I want to show the steps that I took to come up with that idea. Once it's posted, I want to show the aftermath of it. How do I feel about it now that it's out? What was the reaction from the community that I've got online? I want people to come along for the journey because it's fun. It's exciting. It's dangerous, but it's exciting. It's full of highs and full of lows. But I think it's worth us all coming on this journey together. So I've been using my Instagram stories in that way. I've been letting you know a few things that I do during the day, a few of my routines, a few of my techniques. I let you know what's coming up or what I'm working on. So I hope you're enjoying that. I really do. Okay, so Heloise, hello. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for another question that's come in. How do you maintain your energy up when in doubt? It's a good question. And my first thought when I know when I'm lacking in energy, which then lacks in enthusiasm, is I just know that it's going to pass. Because sometimes I feel like, your brain is telling you that you're just going to be in that state forever. When you're sad, when you're feeling lonely, when you're angry, when you're frustrated, when you're irritated, when you're in that emotion, it feels like it's just going to be here forever. I just have to remind myself that it's going to pass. Let's carry out the rest of the day the best you can in the way that's kind to you in these times, and let's have a good sleep tonight and wake up, and hopefully it would have shifted, but if it hasn't, it would have shifted a little at least, and things are going to turn up again. It's going to be okay. Now, sometimes my lack of, or when I'm feeling a bit in doubt about what I'm doing in this project, it gives me low energy and I feel like possibly I'm on the wrong I'm doing the wrong thing, and all of those negative thoughts come in my mind. Sometimes what I do is I just go on my Instagram profile and I just scroll to this time last year. And just for anyone who has joined me within the last year, this time last year I had only just released my logo. Right, the Something to Say logo that you see. I didn't even have any branding. Now I hope you like the branding. Me and Naria work very hard on that. It's greens, blacks, whites, bold, sharp lines, and the logo is there now as well. The logo is present often, and you know, I just sometimes have to remind myself. I just have to go to this time last year and just let myself know that things have just come so far, but sometimes that's not enough because it just hasn't. Maybe it never comes far enough, Maybe it never comes far enough. I'm sure there are people with 10,000 followers, 50,000 followers, 100,000 followers, 1 million followers, and they're still looking to grow. Because as human beings, I believe we're always looking to advance in whatever we're doing. It could be something quite cliche like your career, but it could be you're improving your mental, let's call it mental health and well-being. But it could be also anything. It could be exploring the TV shows that you like, making the next series, making the next episode. Like, we're always trying to advance, right? So, yeah, I just hope that's really, really showing in my work. And we're just continuing to grow. We're trying our best to grow. So, to anybody that's just joined, it's a live Q&A. Ask me anything live Q&A. If you have any questions, just please put them in the comment section. Put them in the question box if you wish. And we'll just try to get this discussion going. I'm really excited about these. The first one that I ever did, I was so nervous. But now this is the third one, and I was excited about it. I was excited to come online. I was excited to check out what was going on, what we're going to talk about today. It's the confidence. The confidence is building. And, actually, I know when you're watching this, it feels like like we're both in a room together. But for me, I'm just looking at this camera, and I feel like I'm getting more comfortable in front of the camera and just feeling like I can really express myself. So it's all just great things. So should we just talk while we're waiting for another question to come in? Shall we talk a little bit about some recent stuff that I've put out there? For anyone... Oh, excellent. We got another question. That's good. Okay, so... Amy GP, another great question. Thank you for this one, because I'd like to talk about this. How do we help you get the word out? Okay. So, the ways you can help me is, if you feel like a post has engaged you and captured your attention, please always like it. Because it helps with the algorithms. And for those that are not sure what really algorithms mean, I think, to put it simply, it's Instagram, the Instagram computer, it's the Facebook computer, and they decide on who to dish the posts out to. So if you like my posts, it helps because it lets that computer know that it's an interesting post and it's worth spreading. So again, if you find my post engaging, it's made you think, please like it. If it's made you feel strongly in a certain way, please comment on it, because that always also helps. And actually that helps not just for me to get these posts spread around, but actually helps the discussion. And you never know, you may write something in that comment section that may make someone else think from another angle. And we're always trying to learn, right? So you may help someone else through writing your thoughts in the comment section. Now, I know to put your comment in a public sphere like that is a little nerve-wracking. But so if you don't want to do it, don't do it. No problem. But if you do feel like one of my posts really made you feel a certain way and you want to express it, please comment. And the third thing is, If you feel like one of my posts is something that you want other people to see, please do share it. So you've got 3 ways that you can help me get the word out. There's a like, there's a comment, and there's a share. Now the share is very powerful because a share will actually put that post that I've put out there in front of your audience. And maybe nobody in your audience is actually following me. So it will put the work in front of a brand new crowd of people who possibly will benefit from what I'm saying or what I'm putting out there. So they're the 3 ways that you can help me get the word out there. Now, very interestingly, because I've been doing this for a little while now, coming up to 3 years, I have a rough idea of what posts will get a lot of likes, what posts will get a good discussion going, and what posts are very shareable. Now, for example, let's take an example. If I make a post with a child abuse statistic on there, it's going to get a lot of likes, and it's going to get some shares because people want other people to know about statistics. If I write a post about my story and I really bear all, it's going to get a lot of likes, a lot of comments, possibly shares, but mostly likes and comments. So it will get a lot of interaction. There's 2 examples for you where you would get a lot of interaction on a post, which is useful because the Instagram algorithm, as we just explained, then will spread that post around. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to write posts every time for the engagement. So I need to kind of have some balance, because if I just go chasing engagement, that's not real. You know, that's not real. Sometimes I write stuff that I know is gonna be, some people aren't gonna like. I know I sometimes write stuff that is difficult to read or watch, and I don't want to stop doing that because I'm chasing engagement. I think if I was to chase engagement, that would be the wrong thing to do. I just want to express myself, how I'm feeling, and what I want to say, and that's how I'm gonna keep it. Okay, another question from Amy GP. You're really helping here. Thank you so much. Regarding porn, which is a subject I've been talking a lot about on my platform recently, what are some of the suggestions for examining my own experiences, effects, versus having conversations with others? Let's read that again. Regarding porn, what are some suggestions for examining my own experiences, effect, versus having conversations with others? Okay, Amy GP, can you rewrite that question? Because I'm not exactly sure what the question is asking me. Apologies for that. And I don't want to just make assumptions because that would be not the correct thing to do for this difficult topic. This difficult topic of pornographic material. I have put out some posts recently. You may have seen them, and yeah, it's just a tough topic. It's an unusual topic because a lot of people, I mean, a great majority of the population use it. And I've got nothing against that. I really don't want people to think I've got anything against that. But nobody wants to discuss it, and nobody wants to talk about the effects that it could possibly have. And nobody really, everybody understands that there would be a concern of young people watching this material. Let's take under 18s watching this material, and I think everybody would agree there is some concern there for young people who are continuously watching porn, and that's what I'm interested in. Okay, we have another explanation for the question. Basically, suggestions for starting the conversation without morality, legalities, and shame. Yeah, it's just so tough. I mean, the whole subject is just so tough to talk about. I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure how you really open that discussion. Yes, how is my consumption affecting me? How has it affected me and my partners? I think the best way for me to continue talking about this subject of pornographic material is to start getting experts on, I want to, and I think before I do that, because I'm not big enough yet to attract experts. When I say experts, I mean people who have done studies, right? I would love to bring them onto IG Live, or do an interview with them for them to give us the facts and the figures. But before I do that, as I said, I don't think I'm big enough to attract that type of attention just yet. What I will do is, if you have seen, I do reaction style videos where I review a video. So I put it in the corner of the screen and I watch it and discuss with the camera, with you guys, about the video. I stop it at certain places. I think I'm going to start searching on YouTube for experts that are already talking about it. And I also want to go through people who are let's call it pro porn. For people who it's maybe added maybe it's added something to their life in some way. Maybe they work in the industry and it's given them a fantastic career. That would be one. That would actually be one. If I could review a video where somebody who works in the industry is talking about how it's a fantastic career, that would be super interesting. We could start then exploring the how the consumption has affected people's lives, and how it possibly has affected people's relationships in a good way or a bad way, right? So it's a real subject, and I think it's got weight, and I think it's got everybody's attention. Because at the moment in society, it's just a given. We got porn. We got it on our phones. Anybody of any age can access it. It seems like it's always been around. If you're 20 years old, early 20s, it definitely has always been around. And I think it's about time we chatted about it. So, it's coming. Okay, we got another question. Viva92 Christori. Thank you so much for another question there. What is the best course I want to study to take care of kids, teens and youth? You know what? This is the second or third person that's written to me and asked me how they can get into a career where they're contributing to children's lives and the youth. I think it would be a very admirable thing for you to do. And actually, you know what I feel is a shame? We're all about big careers for youngsters. We're always talking about like big careers. Where's the big salaries? Do you want to do this? Do you want to? Nobody's encouraging youngsters or kids that actually a very fulfilling career would be something where you help other people, right? Because you can be a banker, you can be a lawyer, you can be an engineer, you can be all of those things, and they are fantastic careers. I'm not slating them. As you know, I was an engineer before I did this. I'm not slating them, right? But I think there's something to be said about having a career where you help people. I think actually when you are on your deathbed, I want to write more posts about this actually, because I think it's a great way of feeling. It's a great way of thinking about it. When you're on your deathbed, let's say you're 80 years old and you're on your deathbed, and you look back, are you going to be happy that you made a load of money in a high-flying career and all you really did was, I don't know, hang on, let me just get this right, yeah? Let me just get this right. When you are 80 years old on your deathbed and you look back at your life, if you've helped someone in some way, you've encourage someone in some way, you help someone overcome the tragedy in their life in some way, you will look back at your life and smile. That's what I believe. Whereas if you just chase money the whole time, you're going to look back and you'll be like, oh, shit. That was a waste of time. That's how I'm thinking. That's really how I'm kind of thinking at the minute. I want to write more posts on that. I think that's really interesting when you think about when you're 80 on your deathbed, when you look back, what are you going to be glad that you did, and what are you going to be annoyed that you didn't do? I think possibly like that's something that's thrown around a lot, right? That's not like a new concept to think about that, but I think we need to think about that a bit more. That's why leaving my engineering career, which was a high-flying career, working all around the world, people sometimes do ask me, oh, do you miss it? Are you not worried that you've left that behind? No is the answer. I used to design things like supercars worth millions of pounds. I used to design aircraft. I used to do the designs for the refurb of aircraft, where people are, I'm just not even going to get into the kind of thing that I was doing. And you know what? It was fantastic when I was doing it. It was so motivating. It was so, it gave me a lot of drive. It gave me a lot of ambition. I was always trying to upskill myself. I was always trying to get better. But now that I do this, and I've got people messaging me on a daily basis saying how I showed them something new. I gave them a different way of looking at things. I have uplifted their life in some way. Well, you just can't make the comparison. That's why it's important that I get this thing monetized so that I can continue with it. I'm going to put out a post either tomorrow or at the start of next week explaining the ways that I now have figured out how I can monetize this. So keep an eye out for that, please. Viva92 Christori, excuse me. I'm so sorry I can't give out my email address, but feel free to DM me and I'll try to help you where I can. I'm not sure I can help you that much, but whatever if you're looking to work with the youth, then I will try my best. I really will. Okay, so Ask Me Anything live Q&A. That's what we're in. For anybody that's just joined, if you got any questions, please fire them my way. You can literally ask me anything, whether it be about my story, whether it be about what I'm doing, whether it be about my thoughts on certain things. Feel free to put the questions in the comments, in the comment box, and I will address them. Last week, I tried something different. I posted 3 times a day on my Instagram and Facebook. And why did I do that? The reason why I did that is I've got so many ideas for posts. I've got so many ideas in my head. I just wanted to get them out there. So I was posting at like 10 a.m, 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. And you know what? I won't do that again. It was exhausting. It was exhausting because actually all I was doing for the whole of my working day was preparing the post, posting the post, and understanding the reaction and checking the reaction. And it just was no good. I just won't do that again. Because now that I've started to work out, I've been speaking with a business analyst and a PR company. I spoke with them last week and we sat down and we looked at this project as a whole and we started listing the ways that I can monetize it. And they now need attention. And if I'm just constantly designing posts, writing captions, putting posts out there like I was last week, then those things that are going to help me monetize this, they then don't happen. They don't get worked. Let's speak about what I'm going to do to monetize this. I'm going to, I've spoken about it a few times on my channel, create merchandise, hoodies, t-shirts, water bottles, notepads with my logo on them, and get that out there. I'm going to start a new podcast, which I will open for sponsors. I am going to put together a proposal for speaking at events, so corporate companies, and start approaching people. I have got a donation page already, which is, trickling along. And the fifth one is YouTube. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then YouTube will start paying me for views. So there are 5 ways for me to monetize what I do. Now, of course, they are not going to bring me all the money, right? But they're going to be a start, because what I need to get to is I need to get this thing running itself financially. It's the aim. Now, if I'm always posting and always writing posts and always creating posts and always like I was last week, not only was that so exhausting, it took me by surprise, but these ways of me monetizing this project, they're not going to get worked. So look, I've got until like end of February next year. Scary, right? It's scary. It's scary because that's only 5 months away. And once end of February comes around, if I haven't got this thing running itself financially, then I'm not in a good position. Yeah, I'm not in a good position. Now, I do have some fail-safe ideas. I do have some idea like plan B. I have a plan B and I have a plan C. But I want plan A to work, of course. I'm aiming for plan A. So that's what's going on with the financial side of this project. And you know what? I've had a couple of comments about, you're trying to glamorize this for money so you can monetize it. And I'm just like, come on, pull yourself together. That's not a constructive comment, is it? If you're following me, you can see that I'm trying to do something unique. I'm trying to do something new. I'm trying to approach this subject from a different angle. So don't come at me with that, is what I say to the haters. You always hear about people talking about haters, and it's just true, especially on the internet. So for anybody that's just joined, hi everyone. This is a Ask Me Anything Live Q&A. You can ask me any questions. Please do submit your question in the comment section. It does encourage a great discussion. And actually, I'm recording this at the moment, so it will go on my YouTube afterwards. So any question that you do ask, I'm sure other people will find interesting as well. So that's what we're up for. I'm going to keep doing this monthly, by the way. I think it's really great. It's actually really great, not only for to have another string to this bow of this project, but also it's actually really useful for me to speak off the cuff and improvise when I'm talking, and because we don't have constant questions coming in, I have to. I'm challenged to fill the time with just discussion, right? So it's a challenge. It's a real challenge, but it's all great stuff, because a lot of the videos that I do, let's say the properly filmed ones, like the one that I filmed last night. So if you're on my Instagram story, if you've seen my Instagram story, you will see what I was doing last night. If you didn't see that, you can go to my Instagram story and check that out. If you're watching this live, it will be there for another 3-ish hours. And when I film stuff like that with film crews, etc., I am working on a script. So everything's pre-planned. What I say is pre-planned. And I spent weeks and weeks memorizing that script. But when it comes to things like speaking like this, where there's no script and it's all ad hoc, it's a real challenge. Like, I don't think I could have done this time last year. I really don't. In fact, I wouldn't have. Because I'd have been worried about it. I'd have been worried to just come on the mic and just say stuff, and just see where I can take the discussion. But now I feel confident to do that. So that just shows that there's progress here. Hi to the new people that have just joined. This is the Ask Me Anything Live Q&A. Please do put your comments. If you've got any questions you'd like to ask me, please do put them in the comments section. I'm sorry for anybody that's watching the recorded version of this that I keep asking for questions, but usually I'm doing this in the evening. So usually I do my ask me live anything live Q&A. I do it in the evening. I do it like 7 p.m, 8 p.m. And so nobody's at work in my country where most of my following live. So normally I've got more people that have joined the live. So we've got questions coming in left, right and centre. But today it's different because I'm doing it during the day. Now, the reason why I'm doing it during the day, I have to work hard with myself at separating this work and my life. Not separating it, that's incorrect. I have to work hard that I just don't do this all the time. Yeah. And if I do these live Q&As at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m, then what happens is I work up until then. I'll have some dinner before. I'll do the setup. I've got two lights. I've got two lights here. I've got my camera stand. I've got my microphone. I'm recording the audio, all of that stuff. I'll get that all set up. Then at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m, I kick off the live. I do it for an hour. I shut everything down. I make sure all the files are on the computer. Then it's 9 p.m. and then I haven't stopped. And the problem with that is then I'm going to lay in bed and I'm only going to think about the project. And I just don't think for a human brain that's very helpful. Very healthy. I really don't. I have found when I've taken time off, I actually come back from that time off. Let's say I take the full weekend off. On Friday at 5 p.m, the computer goes off and I don't return back till Monday morning. I am firing on all cylinders on Monday morning. Honestly, firing on all cylinders on the Monday morning. Really. It's like a real input of energy. So it's showing me that actually to just have a bit of time off actually makes my working time more productive. So I'm learning. I really am. Okay, we got a question. Amazing. Okay, that was from Petal to me. I'm not sure whether you can see me pull up these questions. Petal to me, I apologise. I'm not going to be able to call you after this live, but please feel free to DM me if you've got any questions, really. Just for those that have joined and weren't around earlier, Petal to me actually messaged in earlier saying that she saw me on the 26th of July in 2018 performing at a live open mic event, which was just incredible. For those that don't know, that's how I started this whole thing. And actually, it's just mad to know that she has been following for all of that time and seen the whole thing progress and evolve. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Has anybody got any questions for me? We're in the last 10 minutes. Or maybe I put a question to you guys. That would be interesting, right? If I said to you, let me just try and think of something, right? Well, how are you feeling about my work at the moment? Are you feeling that sometimes... Have you got any posts that made you think? Have you got any posts where you... that you didn't agree with? Have you got any posts that you really agreed with? Are there any things that you would like me to talk more about or cover more in depth? Let me know what you think. I've just actually been in contact with a guy. He's a guy that's following me, and he has offered to do some video editing for me. You may have seen last week I put a post out there and I updated my stories asking if anybody could help me with the video editing. And the reason for that is it's a lengthy process. Let's say it's taking 5 hours or 6 hours to edit one YouTube video, and I'm trying to put out at least one a week. That's nearly that's a good solid half a day, and then that's half a day of just video editing. If I could outsource that to someone else who's willing and wanting to help me, then I can spend that half a day on other things that we mentioned earlier in this IG live. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm just about to send him the first work pack, and I hope the collaboration between me and him goes well. It's going to be a learning process of how we work together. He's in India, so we're in completely different time zones. I'm hoping that we can work it out, and I'm hoping that it goes well. And yeah, I mean, this is how things need to go. I think things need to just start building. I think I need to start asking people to come in and help me and just help me cover all these tasks that I've got. Because when you're running YouTube, you're running Instagram, you're running the other social medias as well. You're trying to write content. You're trying to actually put together films. The better, the more the content that I've got coming out that I film properly with a film crew and directors. And when I'm trying to run all of those different things, you run out of time. When I wake up in the morning, if I've got 10 messages in my inbox just from followers and supporters, then it takes a couple of hours to go through that as well. So before you know it, all the time in your day has been eaten up, and it's a challenge. So this guy is keen, he's enthusiastic, he has the right skill set. I'm going to start sending him the YouTube videos. Let's see what he comes back with. Fingers crossed we can make this work, and then I can start updating my YouTube more and more. And the reason why it's important to update my YouTube more and more is because we're trying to grow the following on there, because when you get to 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in the last 12 months, YouTube start paying you. And I don't think it's going to be a lot, but it's something, because that's what I need at the minute. I need something. Yeah. Okay. I just had a comment here in the chat box. Don't worry too much about what people think. Keep doing this because it's super important. Because you're in my feed, it's a constant reminder to have the talk with my kids every day. So that's a brilliant thing. And guess what? This follower has written. Is now so aware of his surroundings and tells us if I see something suspicious, I'll let you know. But of course, we're there watching him the whole time. That is exactly the kind of feedback that I am thankful that you write. Because that means that what I'm doing is working. And actually what I'm doing is hitting, I would say, one of the most important audiences, and that audience is children. If my work can reach them through adults, that is got to be one of the biggest targets for me. In the future, I do want to write and create content that actually you could show your child. So children-friendly content. I'm not there yet. But possibly, actually, maybe the animation that I released on my YouTube, if you haven't seen that, please check that out. Maybe that would be something that you would actually sit down and show your child. I think it probably would be, because I'm always aiming for it to be a softer approach. I don't want it to be harsh. I don't want it to be like... Sometimes it is like that. I know that. The latest film that I put out, where it's me talking in a monologue style straight to the camera sitting on the bench. If you haven't watched that, check it out. But I warn you, it's a difficult watch, but I'm sure you can handle it. So that's the kind of one I don't think you would show your child, but I think the animation would possibly be something that you would show your child, the black and white animation. So yeah, I thank you for that comment, because that's important. And I need encouragement. I'm a human being, yeah? Sometimes I'm full of doubt. You know? If you saw my Instagram story, you saw that I lost 20 followers over the weekend. And that is a kick in the stomach, honestly. And a lot of people showed me support and explained that actually it could have been bots. It could have been Instagram wiping old accounts. It could have been people deleting their account, all of those things. And now I understand that. But still, I'm trying my absolute hardest with this, right? I'm trying to get it elevating at the best rate I can. March 2019, were you both born in India? March 2019 is referring to this new video editor that I'm starting to work with, and he's from India. My family heritage is from Sri Lanka, and I want my work to reach those countries. And one of the reasons why I think it can do that, and it will do that with time, is because, and I don't have any evidence for this, right? But I think in those countries, it's even more difficult to speak up about something that like an abusive situation than it is here in the UK. It's even more difficult. It's already difficult here in the UK, and it's also very difficult for men to speak up here in the UK, and I can only imagine what it's like over in their country. Now, if they see me, right, my face, I look like them, I have the same features as them, I have the same physical look as them, and guys are seeing me talk about what I'm talking about in the way that I talk about it, maybe they'll be like, if he can do it, I can do it. So I want my work to get into those countries. Michaela, 87, hi. I watched your video about confronting your abuser. I wasn't planning on confronting mine. However, he started another argument with my mother. He's married to her, so I couldn't help myself. Good on you. That's my response. Good on you. Because why are we... There should be no fear. They're just other human beings. They just had a crazy control or effect on your childhood, which makes us feel scared. We're human beings, but now we're adults, and enough is enough. That's the way I feel about it. Thank you, Michaela, and I know that you're very active on my account, so thank you, really. So we're come up to the hour. We've done another episode. If you joined for part of this, I'm going to I've recorded it, so I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel. You can check out the whole thing if you wish. I'm going to keep doing these every month. They're getting better and better and better. I love the community. I love the community that is being created here. We're all after the same thing: prevention of abuse, especially with children. I just don't want people. I want people to think twice before being nasty to another person. We're trying to create brilliant content. We're trying to move this thing forward. Thank you for supporting. Right, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this community. That's episode 3, a wrap. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world, and see you again soon. Thank you.